modo géniti infántes, allelúia. Rationábiles, sine, dolo, concupíscite,
So we have just sung for you the Introit for the second Sunday of Easter, the day that ends the Easter octave. This is a particularly famous Introit, Quasi, modo, géniti, infántes, just like newborn babes. And the significance of this Introit goes all the way back to the earliest years of the Church. That this text would be connected to this date has to do with the fact that the newly baptized Christians took a prominent place in the liturgy of this Sunday, and they wore white albs, white robes. And so this Introit, in a sense, is the whole church singing to the newly baptized, just like newborn babes long for this new milk without guile. Rationábiles, the word that begins the second phrase, is also very interesting. Reasonable. This adjective refers to the newly baptized again, and this indicates another aspect of baptism that we don't often think about today. In the early church, baptism is often called illumination, and the reason is that in baptism the Christian receives the gift of faith. And through faith, our reason is elevated to understand spiritual realities, to understand things about God that we can't know by reason alone. And so our reason becomes informed. And we also find that without faith, without knowledge of God, our reason is compromised, and we are actually, ironically, unable to think completely rationally. This is a very controversial claim in our world today, in which faith and reason are considered to be opposed, and faith is something irrational. But this is not the Church's teaching. This is not the attitude of the early Church, certainly. Rather, we see that it's through faith that we finally heal our reason and are able to think clearly, as it were. We're going to sing the opening phrase one more time for you, and I'd like to make some musical observations.
Quasi modo géniti infántes, allelúia.
So this piece of chant is in mode 6, which is somewhat unusual for introits. Mode 6 corresponds almost exactly to our modern major scale. And one thing that is quite interesting about this Introit is its simplicity. This is a case where we really see that the music fits the event in terms of its emotional affect. The simplicity of this Introit corresponds to the idea of newborn babies. So the newly baptized should live life simply, without guile, just as infants are incapable of guile. We pretty much know where babies stand. They let us know right away. The newborn in the font of baptism should have the same straightforwardness of life. And this Introit has very little complication to it. It itself is straightforward, kind of sing-song even. And it corresponds, I think, perfectly to the affect of the first Sunday after Easter. So we're simply going to sing it again for you, and we hope that you can hear this simplicity, that we will ourselves have the simplicity of the baptized as we sing it.
Quasi modo